By the way, this particular player, he is 514 LP, Grandmaster. He obviously plays more than just Tryndamere, but his Tryndamere is his main. It looks like when he's top, he's banning Jax, and when he's mid, he's banning Rumble or Zoe. I can agree with him. So here's my argument. This is why I disagree with him. That's why I thought this would be interesting content, because I've just done this, right? So like, Korea works in a certain way. If the pros play it, that means you're getting it. So what have pros been playing in mid recently? Some high profile pros been playing in mid recently? Mel CK? You guessed it, Fat Man. I really hate the lane a lot. Maybe I'm overrating it versus like a Tiamat push or something. Because like Tiamat kind of like unlocks roams or something. Like you can't do anything to him. So he just body slams you and runs away. How are we doing this right now? Whoa, 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 whoa. This is interesting. I spaced out for a second. Sorry, I'm tired. Like I said, I didn't sleep well. So wait, he's invading at 105. He checks the bush. Ward. Oh, he's just going. He's flipping the game on it. Oh no. Repel? No, she already took an ability. Q or W, I think. So, I think it's a really good heads up play. Smart play. He knows that Gragas, Elise, and Garen are all really, really weak level 1. So he wards enemy red. I think it's a really, really smart move. Got to make a note of those, right? Because it's an opportunity. And I think he does a really good job of just kind of reading the situation. And then Jax, his teammate, follows up really nicely with the flash E, picks up the kill. So what does this mean for Tryndamere at the beginning? Well, basically, what it means is that you are now behind in XP, right? So you are behind in XP early, which means at this point, Tryndamere can really only just wait until he gets a back timing. I love how he flips the lane onto the Gragas. Like he just opens and starts pushing into the Gragas, and every time his E is up, he just says fuck it and E's on his head. Doesn't care. And then goes for the hard push. He's getting really low. So honestly, my first take on this lane is I don't really understand why he plays it the way that he plays it. It's very strange to me. It feels out of control in the sense that like he's pushing into Gragas, but it just feels arbitrary, right? And I'm not trying to shit on anybody that's higher rated than me here, because obviously like I'm not playing with these guys yet, so I don't know. This play that he made in the beginning is really good. It's really good. I don't know if I would have came up with it. I do stuff like this sometimes with early level 1s, but I don't do it every time. Obviously seeing it now, it looks pretty smart, right? But this to me, I don't really understand the benefit here, right? He tries to push into the Gragas. It looks like he maybe thinks that he can get a recall timing or something, but Gragas just pokes him down. This is again why I hate this lane so damn much, because like as Tryndamere, there's not much you can do. And so Gragas makes this roam as a result. Now, we could counterpoint it though. And we could say that if he does these trades with Gragas, the roam has a lot less power, because Tryndamere basically trades his health, obviously for the mana, right? And some of the health in the Gragas. So, I mean, I guess I could think of it that way, where you just like E on the dude's head and bonk him and be done with it. Tryndamere is going to follow. This is a mistake that, or sorry, this could be a mistake that people make, but here it's actually really good because it's before 5 minutes. I always say that hitting the tower before 5 minutes is just troll. It's just fucking troll play to hit the tower before 5 minutes. There's no point in hitting it. The damage is useless. So Tryndamere rotates down. He does not have Ghost. He's thinking about making a play, and the fight goes pretty bad, so he has to just walk back to mid. At this point now, Greg is going to back and TP forward. Yeah, I disagree with this. I think he should have already been basing right here. Because it's pretty obvious that Greg is going to back and TP. When I see these videos and I see like little macro errors like this, I get really excited because I'm like, oh, that means that my Tryndamere is really good. Right? Because like this, when he left this ward, like if I was in his shoes, I already would have based. Because there's nothing you're doing. When Gragas backs and TP's forward, there's nothing you can do to this wave anyways. You know what I mean? Does it matter that much? I mean, a little. It depends on what you like, you know, how fast you can clear the wave, whether or not it impacts the roam timing or whatever. And as you can see, Gragas trying to set up roams. A lot of respect being given to one another. Nice. I mean, so far the game's pretty dry, but like you can make a pretty compelling argument that Tryndamere has played a huge part in at least being fucked in this game. Right? And that's really what it's all about at this level. It's just like trying to find opportunities and capitalize on them before your opponents do, right? In the case of Gragas, I mean, as you can see, Tryndamere is not necessarily like losing lane, but Gragas isn't necessarily a champion that's going to lose lane either. And Gragas has first move on a lot of stuff because of the nature of the champion. This was actually when Worlds year before last year, and Tryndamere was like popping in mid. Or it might have been even before that. But there was a point where Tryndamere was really popping in mid. And I kept saying on stream, I was like, well, Tryndamere really fucking sucks into certain lanes. This was the lane that I was like, dude, if people pick Gragas into this guy, it's so depressing. It just feels really, really bad to have this champion who, like, can set you up for ganks every time you go into melee range. And I feel like that's a lot of champions in mid for Tryndamere to, like, give him a hard time. You know? See that? That right there? That's what I'm talking about. Bro, I don't care about these little fat EUS kids. I don't care. I already proved my shit. If he wants to talk, come over to Korea. Put his money where his mouth is. Come on over. He can do Korean barbecue with me. He can apologize for being a little rodent. This is pretty ugly by... Oh, well, he's trying to set up an Italy gank, I guess. I really don't like I don't like these, like, wacky trades that he's doing versus Gragas. I feel like, and I'm not trying to be a hindsight hero. I don't like these, like, loose trades. It's so unnecessary. I would rather keep our health higher, personally, and just wait for something that's just an easier gimme. Fucking with Gragas at this stage when your team's doing well is just so pointless. It's easy to get fucked over, blitz roam or whatever. But yeah. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is where this guy differs from me. So this guy goes Stridebreaker, which I was fucking with initially. I am kind of prepping this. And this is another reason that I wanted to look at this, is because I'm suspecting. And so here's the thing about playing with this these types of games is like, I'm suspecting that Ravenous might be nerfed eventually. And Stridebreaker will be the next thing. Because if Ravenous is nerfed again, I don't know if it will be, but if it is, then we have to go Stridebreaker, I think. You hear this roam by Tryndamere? Really good roam. I agree with it. I know what you guys are thinking. NEACE, wouldn't you push mid here? No. No. You can't. You can't. I know it's crazy to say. You cannot. You have to go. You have to move down here. It's Korea server. You must. It is what it is. And a lot of people are wondering, well, why? Why would that be, you know, why would it be that way? Well, because in Korea, these players are actually insanely good. And obviously being at this level is not going to be any different. This is the same thing I would say to somebody in Platinum Korea, Diamond Korea. Mechanically, they're good. You cannot let them snowball off of a teammate when you could have rotated, because your teammates are kiting better, your opponents are diving better. So if you're there, if you're present and you play the fights right, you usually get rewarded more. This isn't NA where you could just like barrel down a lane and get huge. Korea is just different. So this is like one of the big adjustments that I made. Completely agree with this roam. I would not have said this if I looked at this Tryndamere gameplay 5 months ago. I would not have said this. I would have been like, that's terrible. This is stupid. Nope. He's right. He's right. And it's the same play that I would have made recently. I would have probably walked straight down the bot lane. If this wasn't Korea, you'd recommend pushing the wave? Yeah. Yeah, I would. Because oftentimes your opponents are not going to dive with any confidence. And even if they do dive, it's going to be really hard for them to offset the leads that you're getting. And most players, like newbies in NA and even EUS, a lot of the time can't carry with leads. It's just what it is. Although I would say EUS is better than NA. It's better to just get big usually. And it's easier on your brain, right? But I've obviously had to adapt and I've obviously had to grow as a player. So it is what it is. Like, you just got to roam and you've got to be willing to sacrifice waves and do weird shit, because game's more of risk. It's like risk management, risk assessment starts coming out. So yeah, if it wasn't Korea, I think I would probably be like, I don't think this is necessary personally, but here you have to give them credit. You just have to give them credit. And I think playing here a lot of the time is about respect. You respect their mechanics. You respect their game knowledge. I know this sounds ridiculous to say that their macro is good. I've underestimated how smart these players are with macro, in the sense that they play wild, but they're doing it for a reason, and it's smart. It's smart assessments. It's built off of the back of, if I don't do this, I will lose. Like, if I don't join this fight, these guys will snowball. I will lose. I cannot outperform them mechanically. It's respect. So yeah, I mean, I think it takes a lot of pride swallowing to say it, but it's true. Mechanics. So like, yes, it's dumb for them to always take the fights. Yes, but simultaneously, if you can't outlane them and you can't out team fight them, you're probably not getting anywhere on Korea anyways. That's why I was laughing so hard at the fucking coping guy in the Reddit thing, who was like, anybody with macro can climb in Korea. No, you can't. You have to have good laning too, and you have to have good team fighting too, because you're not going to get to any macro shit if you can't lane versus these people. So, like, in ways they're dumber and more emotional, but at the same time, like, they're playing a tempo game, and tempo game requires a lot of movement. So Greg is kind of out of line here. Gets caught up. Tryndamere gets pulled. Oh, he doesn't have ult. Okay, I see. Team fighting without ult here. This is always spooky as Tryndamere. Really unlucky that he got hooked. I didn't see that he didn't have an ult. So, I mean, mechanically, that shit happens. You get hooked at a bad time. Kind of gets kicked out of the fight as a result. Then he just heads on over to mid. Elise can be here, I think. And that's... I hate this lane. I fucking hate it. Freaking guy belly bumps you and runs away at Mach 10. Gragas was born in Kenya, apparently. Literally has to go for it. Really, really well played by the Gragas. Not bad, not too shabby. But unfortunately doesn't get the trade kill. And then that's 2 plates. Tryndamere going to take 2 plates to probably recall. He's not afraid of the blitz with ult. He's going to take a plate. Using the minions to get that last plate, I believe. Oh. Sucks when you miss your ult. Like I said, I like these. This is good news. Right? This is good news. Like, I'm capable of playing at this guy's level. The one thing I credit him for is that, like, this invade is a really good invade. So it's like the takeaway here is just be ready to do, like, level 1 shit like that. Rotates down. Gragas, I don't think has phase rush here, does he? Yes, he does. He still has it. I'll start with the follow-up. Ooh, nice setup for the Elise. Wow. Good auto movements. Blitz is like trying to peel, but like doesn't really know. Nice job. He gets double. Now again, you can kind of see the difference of builds. Like the whip going into Stride Breaker. That's not bad. I like this build too. I like both builds. I like Ravenous. I like Ravenous, Essence Reaver, and the Eclipse. And I like Stride Breaker. It's like Stride Breaker. What was I going? I was going like Navori, I think. It's like Stride Breaker, Navori, and I don't know. Depends on the situation. Grudge. So Gragas had no phase rush there. But Trin had no ult. So yeah. This is like these like loopy trades that I'm just not a fan of. Look at this trade. Spin away. Like why? There's so many needless autos. That's what I mean. Like when you don't have ult, you don't have sums. It just feels really shitty to like auto this guy. Unless you know where Elise is, right? And the cannon's just not that worth it. When you're in this position as Tryndamere, the cannon you can just give. You know what I mean? You can just give it. It's okay. Like, yeah, it feels really shitty to let go of it, but you don't have to do this when the map's dark and you don't know where Elise is, and you've got this champion with like the best setup in the game, right? It's just so much better to just be like, I'm good, and just wait. It's all right. Like, these trades, to me... I mean, we can make the argument that, like, trades make it so that your opponent can't run around, and then you're also drawing ganks, and it's also just kind of, like, ebb and flow the game. But, like, at the same time, I don't know. I feel like you're just needlessly setting yourself up for 90 gold. Just pay... Or he could have just autoed and eat away right here, is what he should have done. Instead of teasing the cannon like this. See what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I see this VOD, I'm very excited to play in the higher level games. Just because this guy, I don't think he's bad or anything. But I think he's, you know, I think he's making obvious mistakes that I probably could have avoided. I could have avoided some of these mistakes. I truly believe that. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, going for the trade with double buff's still bad because you're just never getting out. Like, if Gragas body slams into an ult and Elise is there, she could just repel to you and you're dead. Like, there's nothing you can do. You're dead without ult. Like, this is fine. Like, you've got ult, you've got Stride Breaker. Like, you just do whatever the fuck you want here, right? You're good to go. You've got Ghost. That's what I mean. Just give up the cannon and wait for this to happen. Just wait for this. There's no need to leak a kill when you're totally in control. Oof. Yeah, it's so shitty. So Gragas takes the Trin's ult, and then they go chase the Jax. The Tryndamere make a smart macro play, hit tower. That's all standard stuff. Rotates to bottom, take a recall. Ooh, going in without ult. Nice. Really good heads up play by the Tryndamere here. Really good stuff. Now, like, Seth, seriously, are you like an alt account? Like, here, I don't understand why you're here. Good ult. Goes into a pretty big team fight. Little early though. Let's watch the setup. I was distracted by chat. Let's watch the setup here. So Tryndamere rotates to the fight. Decides he wants to take a fight. First thing I'm doing if I'm Tryndamere here is I'm pinging this off. Jax has no TP. I just be pinging it off. And I've just hovered to the side. Let's see how he plays it, if I agree with him. So he face tanks the Gragas E, which I think could have probably been postured. He could have just postured here instead of this, I think. Maybe he figures it's worth blocking the E. Let's see it. Maybe he's thinking I have to block the E. How's Tristana doing? Tristana's 4-1, so there might be an argument for what he's doing. So let's see it again. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Tristana's completely fine here. She still has jump. She still has cleanse. She has flash. She's not afraid of this at all. So I don't know. And I think this is one of those spots where like I'm giving Tristana credit for jumping away, and I'm not gonna try to. I'm not saying that I'm gonna just like let her die, but I'm not in love with this fight, right? I would have rather peeled off and see what they do. But he elects to go all in. Big 4-man stride breaker. Good ult. Eats the Garen ult. I mean, it's a well-timed ult. Really well-timed. Gets the kill. And then gets locked up by the Gragas ult. And dies. Tristana dies. Again, I'm personally not in love with this fight. I don't like it. I just think there's better spots. There's better spots to make a stand. And I think he just got a little impatient, personally. I don't think I'd take that fight. It's just not a great spot to make a stand. Again, there's better positions to be in. So I would have pinged off long ago. I noticed the pings were pretty quiet on that spot too, which I don't like. Again, not trying to say I'm better than this guy. Just literally just sitting here thinking about what I would have done in the same spots. If I catch him doing something that's better than me, like the level 1 invade, I'll notice it. Or like that ult timing was really well timed. It's a good ult timing. You gotta ult it. Good. So Nidalee's pinging this. I think it's a good all in. Given the Garen's items, it looks a little janky though. It looks a little funky. Good heal by Nidalee too at the top of it. That was lazy. That's really, really, really lazy. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, he gets out though. That's lucky. Should rotate top here. Rotate top here. No, hard disagree. Go top. You don't stand here anymore. Yeah, I don't. This is bad by him, I think. Go top and push the wave in and just inhale some resources for a bit. You can take chickens here. You could take golems here. You could take top here. There's just no... Okay, so there's just no play, right? Like, he has no ult. He has no ghost. He has jack shit. Like, I get wanting to be near your team, and now I've been doing more of that, but you absolutely have to leave. You have to leave here. You have to get out, in my opinion. Let me go top and get some gold. Or instantly get out and recall, right? Don't float around. It looks like he is going Navori. As you can see, Stridebreaker is quite good with wave clear too. It's not as good as Ravenous. It's pretty good. And the mobility makes up for the time difference lost on clearing the wave. So it's a good item. Uh-oh. Flash. Oh. Flash. Garen's. All right, Garen. Garen's smoking crack. But the game's pretty dire at this point. The game's pretty dire at this point. Nice. Nice slow. Get all in on the Garen. Does he get out? Oh, he's going deep. I probably would have just left, but I can't fault him for getting kind of close. Gragas is tanky. This is doable, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. This player's good. Do I think I'm better? No. Do I think I can hang, though, with what I'm seeing? Yes, I do. So far in this game. So far. I think so. I think we're good. Let's see how this ends. Actually, wait, it gets entertaining. It gets entertaining. Hold on. They get Baron. Enemy team gets Baron. Bros, I'm not talking to fucking fans and stalkers, dude. Just drop it. It's not happening. It's not happening. Oh, hold on. I gotta answer some questions on Discord real quick. Oh, okay. Sorry. So let's see what happens in this game. I was going to stop the replay early, but it does turn out to be a banger. What does this guy's name even stand for? Dondemi. 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 I don't know what that means, but that's the translation roughly. Or what it sounds like. Okay, so Garen finds a pick onto Tristana. Jackson side lanes. Jax really wants this fight. I mean, he's really strong here. So he's thinking about it for sure. Little ARAM action. I don't know if they want to pull an Alistar. Tryndamere feels pressured that he has to go in. Kaisa and the Tryndamere is always a rough time. Fight goes pretty bad for them. Realistically, in my opinion, I think Jax would have been better suited on a split. I think Jax should have pushed one wave and then moved to mid. This would have put pressure on enemy team to go to Baron and then allow mid to push, and then maybe we could have found some sort of collapse, maybe. Not a bad game, though. It slows. Nice attempt by Blitz to find a flash pick into Baron. Very smart, actually. So they have to survive this Baron in order to make this game float. Alistar gets hooked first again. Uses his ult, goes deep. Alistar going deep for the Kaisa. Tryndamere doing everything in his power to kill the Kai'Sa. Does he get it? Because this is huge if he doesn't get it. He does get it. Really well played by him. Honestly, that right there made up for a lot of his mistakes. That dive is actually so fucking pivotal in this game. Seriously. Getting that dive secured is a massive thing. Knowing that he has to go deep, knowing his target, he knew that he had to go on Kai'Sa. He commits. He doesn't back down. He just fucking goes. And he hopes, he's like, I pray to God I get this. And he gets it. Crit on the last auto. Some good fortune on that crit, it looked like. 20% or something. Does he consume Fury? Good stuff. A lot of the mistakes, I mean, you make a play like that, it invalidates a lot of the mistakes, to be honest. Like, if you get the dive, it's a big win. Drag is caught up. Good sidestep on the E. Now the mechanics are coming through. Build ramping up a little bit. Does not have enough for the E. He's going to EW. Nidalee's looking for it now that he's hit the ability, hit the slow. Another slow, follows it up. And that pretty much is GG. Let's watch one more fight. And his build turned out to be Stride Breaker, Navori, and Grudge. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Same build. Pretty good build. I like it a lot. Going on the Kai'Sa right away. Kai'Sa's positioning here, very whack, if I'm being honest. Let's watch it from her angle. Why was she... What is she doing? Bro, if I saw that shit at this level of play, I would be so fucking mad. Face tanking and Alistar knockup is just... You're losing the game on purpose. Cool. What did we think about him, chat? I thought he was all right. I mean, this is... By the way, this particular player is... He is 514 LP. Grandmaster. He obviously plays more than just Tryndamere. He's good at some other shit. Right? But his Tryndamere is his main. And he's got a 57% win rate. Like I said, watching this, I feel like I could hang with what I saw. On Tryndamere anyways. I think I could hang. And it's also a pretty good argument for, like, what happens if Ravenous gets nerfed, right? If Ravenous gets nerfed, then you've got this build also. Both builds really good. So, something to think about. Cool. You can always hang out with me. You can go to NEACE.gg. You can book a coaching if you want. Or not. I don't care. I'm going to be grinding anyways. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the review, if we should do more of them.